Welcome back, everybody, to Get High and Talk About It, man.
Hell, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's just me and
It's
Zizmo
been
today.
yes, sir. Keeping it
Yeah,
OG.
yeah. What's been going on out there today?
Man, dude, I know that you've heard a little bit about Brittney Griner.
Yes, sir.
No, it's to say the least. I think that it's a tragedy. The whole thing itself. I
I can't. No, I can't
it's
keep a straight face.
uh, I'm trying, man. It's a goddamn tragedy. All right.
No, it's not.
Listen, man. She's out there all alone and scared. She
What's a tragedy is the fact that
unintentionally
we
committed a
traded back a
felony.
Russian warlord for that.
Exactly, dude. A fucking 6'9" lesbian basketball player. No, oh yeah, and she's mixed,
That's the
or she's not. I don't
tragedy.
know. She's light skinned. Okay, that's the fucking
That's the
tragedy.
tragedy
All
right
right.
there.
You get fucking. There's no accountability for you doing some stupid illegal shit. Because you're cocky.
And
You
getting
think that you're
caught.
fucking. Yeah, you got caught. I mean, don't get me wrong. 9 years. That's pretty fucking stupid. But you know the risk when you do shit like that. You gotta weigh those risks out, man. Like, if I need a couple of cards for the basketball game I'm about to play, or do I
Need
want
to
to
hit him a
spend the
little
rest of my
bit.
life in prison? Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
And
It
there's
is
no
just
accountability.
not needed.
Let me get the actual
I
factuals
gonna
on
Google it, man. I gonna.
it. Yeah,
Okay, Google.
I gotta
Show me them titties.
show me them titties, Google.
Yeah.
All right. So in February 17th of 2022, she was arrested in Russia or detained in Russia
Okay. Just
for
detained at first.
Yeah, they say for allegedly possessing cannabis oil in her luggage.
Allegedly.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
gonna say that. That's just fucking stupid. All right, who do you think you are? Fucking Jimmy Hoffa. Like,
Well,
allegedly, I shot that motherfucker back in the street. Allegedly. Like, no, bitch. Like, I look at you and I guarantee you, I can make it a pretty vivid imagination of where you probably put that oil at
that's a fact.
in the carts. Like, you just. It's not allegedly, bitch. You did it.
Here's my thing about it. You're flying internationally, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You should know what the deal is already before you even step into the airport.
Yes.
Not even before you step into the car to go to the airport. You should know the deal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. That just gets me. And it's kind of the same situation where Snoop Dogg, I think it was Snoop Dogg, or it's either Snoop Dogg or one of the like big rappers. They went to like Iceland or Finland or Switzerland or something like that, and they're not allowed to come back because they got caught. It's actually illegal in that country to have THC in your system and be on their soil.
Oh really?
Yes, you can't even have it in your system. Like, even if you had smoked a couple of days ago and then come into the country and they test you and you test positive, it's still illegal.
Holy shit.
And he actually got like taken into a not he didn't get put in like jail or anything like that, but he got taken in by the cops and they tested him and they're like, yeah, you're not allowed to come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So well, like, dude, at that point, you should know the deal.
Yeah, of course. I mean, dude, listen, it's not very. It just takes a little common sense. It's not very common sense. It's just sense. People don't have
exactly
sense these days.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you about my brother later, but that's.
Oh, all right. But yeah, dude, like,
go to the topics first.
But dude, like, it's widely known that you're not supposed to traffic anything. Like,
exactly.
Like, you've never seen anything. Yeah, anything, bro. Any fucking TV show on the news all your life, I guarantee. Unless you've just been under a rock your whole fucking life. Like, you know that it is wrong to, for firearms, drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking too big of a toothpaste bottle you can't go through.
Exactly.
TSA. Like,
or a shampoo bottle that's too big you can't even take it through.
Yes.
My dad had issues with that.
Why in your right mind would you fucking bring illegal substances on a plane to travel internationally to a country that's a fucking dictatorship? Okay,
yeah, that too. I don't know why you would even want to travel there to begin with. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Okay, so I think that I don't think that you should really travel internationally to foreign countries for any reason that's owned by a dictatorship like Russia. You shouldn't go there in general. I don't
Exactly.
think there's any need for a U.S. citizen or American to go over there. I don't think there's reason for anybody to go over there.
Exactly.
I mean, Russia has always been a shitty country, and will probably always will be, unless
Facts.
something big changes.
Democracy, baby.
But democracy, yeah, bring back democracy, man.
Yeah.
But you see,
I don't see that
if
happening though, unless they
hell no, we
like
tried to do that shit with Iran and Iraq. That didn't work.
exactly. And the only way I ever see that kind of thing happening is if the entire country literally overthrows the government, which probably won't happen either because there's some. I'm willing to bet there's some pretty proud Russians that live in Russia. They're like,
Oh
yeah,
dude.
Putin. They got that going Putin riding a moose on their wall, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Russia is they have no freedom of speech,
Yeah.
and they manage all their media
Yeah.
to show them what they want to see and what they want to do, and
That's
this
kind of
and
like
this
how
and
China
this.
does too.
Yeah, and it's a dictatorship, man. There's no real freedom over there, and I think that the patriots of actual Russia that are like proud fucking motherland supporters
Yeah.
would not go easily if we
No,
tried to.
definitely not.
Which I don't think we need to go. It's not our country. We got enough bullshit to worry about over
That's a
here
fact.
than to go like Iraq and Iran. That was a bullshit trade, dude. Me personally, I don't care about them motherfuckers. Like, that sucks, dude. I hate that you got to go through all that, but that's your choice.
Exactly.
That's
If you don't
it is.
like it, then leave, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Well, that's pretty rough. I don't know. We probably shouldn't say that because we gotta make it cancel. It's really edgy.
Oh, who cares?
But yeah, fuck all you liberals. I don't
Bomb.
care.
That's pretty
Okay,
good.
yeah, dude. That fucking AI algorithm thing for the FBI, dude. Yeah, but them old bomb Thursday, 3:00.
Yeah.
Church's chicken.
Baconator in custody. You know what I'm saying?
Baconator, tactical baconator in custody.
Yeah, tactical baconator.
Yeah, man, that's a little inside joke because of how fucked up the algorithm is. Because the FBI is watching.
Oh, they've been watching
But
me for a long time.
oh yeah, dude. I think I strive to get on the FBI's watch list.
I probably am.
You know who's probably not on the FBI watch list?
Who's that?
Brittney fucking Griner.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, probably not.
Back on the topic, man. Brittney Griner is just fucking. I think she's just a fucking disgrace, man. Like, I don't know why we even brought her out of there, anyways, dude.
Exactly. She should have just stayed there and did her time and learned from her stupidity.
Dude, she has a lot of hatred towards America, dude.
And that's funny too. That everybody was like all happy to see her back and us trade this warlord. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This Russian warlord that may have the potential to help Russia win the war against Ukraine. Yeah, we're gonna trade that for some, female basketball player that got caught for doing something illegal in the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do
Dude,
you?
nobody knew who the fuck she was until, okay, so she dunked one fucking basketball. All right. Who the fuck cares, man?
Exactly.
I looked that shit up on YouTube. the most views I seen was when she was on like Conan or some shit, and it was like 500,000. Right. But yeah, Victor Boot has a movie made about him with Nicolas Cage. Right.
Exactly.
Like, he's a well-known fucking arms dealer.
What did they call him? What was his nickname?
What was it? The Merchant of Death.
Oh yeah, the Merchant of Death. We got the Merchant of Death, somebody who is so well known around the world, has movies made about him, and then we got this female basketball player, no name female basketball player at that gets caught.
That hates America.
Yeah, that hates America, that gets caught in a foreign country doing something that is against the law.
Yeah.
And gets sent to jail for it. Hey, it is what it is.
I am the first person to stand up and tell you that weed should not be illegal.
And it probably won't within the next 10 years anyways.
It probably won't, but there's still rules and there's still laws that you
Exactly.
need to abide by, because if not, you have to deal with your fucking consequences, man. Like,
Exactly.
dude, I might not live in a legal state, but you know what? I smoke weed. I get my marijuana, but I do know that I weigh the fucking risk that, hey, I can go to jail
Yeah.
or get a fine. Like, something could happen.
Exactly.
But you got to weigh out that risk. I'm not going to go to a fucking Russian country with a fucking couple of carts in my butthole and get caught, and then be like, "Oh, it's just a little weed, man. Where you going?
No, I didn't put
9
it there.
years."
It got stuck in there when I went and sat at the bidet in the airport.
What had happened was some Chinese Secret Service agents, all right, came into my apartment.
China Secret Service, the good old CSS.
Yeah, CSS, man. They come into my apartment, pulled down my britches, and stuffed 2 half-gram carts in my butthole, in my rectum. I had no idea. Okay,
They
that's
did
what
it while
happened.
I was asleep.
I was asleep. I was unconscious because of how much marijuana I had.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
still like, I don't know, man. You gotta take things into account and just think about what you're doing and where you're going with what you're doing at that point in time.
Yeah.
It's like you said, you might not be in a legal state and you weigh the risk that if you get caught with this certain substance that you may go to jail or get a fine for this certain substance.
Yeah.
In which, at least in the United States, the leniency on like the marijuana fines and prison time and whatnot has gotten a lot better. Like the leniency is a lot better with that stuff now. Like back in the day, there used to be people that would get 25 years for having an ounce on them.
Oh yeah. So like in South Carolina, so trafficking charges for so I don't think that it would be trafficking if you was to take a couple carts or something,
Yeah.
like a gram or something, something small, something you could tell was for personal use.
Yeah.
Like, and as long if you ain't got fucking like a kilo of coke hitting up your fucking cooch or something, that's different.
Yeah.
But I don't think that she should get trafficking charges unless you can probably work it the way to be where she's on a plane headed to a different country internationally. She's doing this and this, but there should still be some kind of repercussion or consequences that she needs to serve for breaking the law. I mean, he's bringing illegal substances on the plane and through the airport. I mean, fraud. There's a lot of shit you could probably get her with, and needs to be. I mean, I don't understand how she's not behind bars in America right now.
Facts.
Especially for someone who takes a knee for the national anthem on basketball. Like
that too.
I mean, just
somebody
that's just fucking
somebody that's anti-American that was imprisoned and technically traded for the Merchant of Death. I feel like should definitely still be in prison in the United States, especially when they've been traded for somebody as violent and criminal as the Merchant of Death. Like you gotta have some sort of what would you say, like restraint or like on Joe Biden, man, can't think. You know what I'm saying? Like ankle monitor, something, probation, put that girl on probation, something, anything really.
I
Like,
would
you look at her
personally.
Yeah.
I would personally put her in a women's maximum security prison.
Yeah.
For fucking like 6 months.
Exactly. And that's literally like nothing compared to what she would have been serving. But you take her and you take the Merchant of Death, look at them side by side, and you tell me why they were really traded. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, the Merchant of Death, Victor Boot, okay, he funded the wars of South Africa. He put AK-47s in children's hands.
Exactly.
He funded every war in Africa, like in South Africa. Like he was a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah, and you take that and you put it next to this female. What was her name? Brittney Griner.
Mm-hmm.
You take him and you put that next to this female basketball player that is anti-American, and got caught in a foreign country for taking, what was it, carts with her?
It was a couple of carts, man. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
So you take
but
those, you put them side by side, and you tell me who's the worst one that should stay in jail. You know what I mean? And shouldn't be traded for, somebody that's as idiotic as Brittney Griner.
Yeah.
Like, what point?
Yeah, no, she is fucking stupid, dude. She called for the removal of the national anthem for the WNBA.
That's ridiculous.
Like, I don't understand how she believes that the U.S. and America is built on systematic racism, and this, it's all fucking bullshit. Like, I don't. Why do we make such a hassle out of getting her out of fucking Russian prison?
Dude, they
for somebody
send
that has no respect for the American government or any kind
exactly.
of America in general.
There are soldiers, all right. Now, maybe not now, but years ago, there were soldiers sent to war, young people, and sent out to die, knowing they would die, that fully supported their country and did it because they believed in what our country was founded on and all that good stuff. All right, they believed in everything that they were fighting for. And they were sent to die. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody, Hey,
dude, that's when America was great.
Exactly.
Dude, honestly, I mean,
people were willing to go fight for their country, and you know what? If they keep doing stuff like this, and this isn't really specific to the Brittney Griner situation, but if the country keeps heading in the direction that it's been heading in, I feel like nobody's gonna want to stand up and fight for it because they don't believe in what the country's doing.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I have seriously thought about joining the army for multiple reasons, but one thing that I would not say I would join for is that I support our country, and I think our country is the best it's ever been, like since sliced fucking bread. I genuinely don't think that our country is great.
No,
I think our country has more rights and more freedom than a lot of other countries do.
Oh yeah, by far. But
I think it's a nice country to live in. I think it's a really nice place to live.
Yeah.
In certain areas, but I really feel like America is becoming a failed society.
Yeah, like it's more of a failed society than it was 10 years ago.
Yep.
And that's for sure. Another thing is everything that's going on in America, or really internationally at this point, that's in politics, the news, all that stuff, all of it revolves around one thing, and that is the money. All right.
Oh yeah.
That's like the whole Black Lives Matter movement, all of that. There was like what, a couple of $100 million, or how it was a large number, right?
Yeah.
That was unaccounted for, that was claimed on the taxes or whatever, that nobody knows where it went. All right. It wasn't pushed to the communities that needed it and what the movement was promising and all that good stuff. There's a lot of black people out there that are seeing this now, and they're like, "Wow, they really did that to us." And I feel like a lot of people, I'll call everybody Americans. All right, I'm not gonna single anybody out for their race in this particular scenario conversation, but
yeah,
I feel like after seeing that, everybody, Americans all together, should be able to see the type of scams and stuff like that is being pushed through media, through social media, all together. You know what I mean?
I think it's a lot of it to do with just ignorance.
Yeah, people just don't know. They'll trust anything they see. They see those are the type of people that see the like the little ads on Pornhub, like thick white women, local MILFs in your area right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's the type of people that fall for that ad.
Trust me, from experience, dude. There are no local MILFs in my area that want to protect me right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Looked. Like, I've looked.
Been looking for 15 fucking years, man. I ain't found one. I found one. One found me, really. But I don't want that. No.
No.
Not the ones that I was promised. Okay?
No, get away from me.
Lied.
Yeah, they lied. No, but that's the type of people that we're dealing with here, that are falling into these kind of ideals and stuff like that, that's really ultimately bringing the country downhill very fast.
See, I I watched the video of a World War II veteran. He was in his 90s or something. He was really fucking old.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was in. It brought me to tears, dude, because he was so genuine and like he was talking about how when he fought for the country when he was in World War II, he was, this country was like the best. I mean, he really fought for everything. He fought for everybody's rights. He believed in, what this country stood for.
Exactly.
And he was like, it's not the same country. He's like, I'm ashamed of what I fought for now. Like, I fought for this. This is a disgrace. Like,
Yeah.
and it's true, dude. I mean, the best time our country has been since 9/11 has been when we haven't had a strong economy, a strong,
Nope.
society. It's just 1911 or not 1911, fuck 9/11. Right?
1911.
I'm American, man. All I think about is guns. But no, dude. I mean, seriously,
No,
dude,
you're right,
9/11
because
was what brought the country together, and
yeah, 9/11, everybody was together. Everybody was working towards the same goal. But here's the thing that 9/11 really started, and that most of the problems that we have today with like the trust issues with people in the country stemmed from 9/11, and that was the mass surveillance. A lot of mass surveillance programs stemmed from the 9/11 attacks.
Yep.
Which, in all honesty, isn't that bad of a thing when you look at it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you on paper, it's amazing.
Yeah, pay attention to everybody that's coming in and out of the country. See what kind of messages they're sending in and out. Look for the keywords, stuff like that. Bomb, 10 o'clock,
Thursday,
Friday
Wednesday.
night. Yep.
Yeah.
That type of stuff really does help. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that it's actually prevented, such attacks from happening that nobody knows about.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely been effective, or else they wouldn't use it.
Exactly.
But I see mass surveillance as a good thing and a bad thing.
I don't
the bad
think
thing it's just
Go ahead.
it violates a lot of privacy.
Yes, it violates a lot of privacy, but the thing with the way that the United States is doing it, and I'm saying this from a standpoint of I have no idea what they actually have or do not have, but from what's come out and what the news has been, the mass surveillance that the United States is doing is nothing compared to like what other countries are doing, such as China or even Russia, maybe. In China, they're watching everything. They watch your internet traffic. Like, per person, keep an eye on you, like an eagle eye on every single person. And that's a lot of people. That's a lot of infrastructure. They have traffic cameras everywhere. There's probably not a street in China that doesn't have a traffic cam on it with facial recognition and all that junk. Like, they're one of the biggest mass surveillance countries in the world, if not the biggest.
I would think they'd have to, just for all the
everything.
The potential risk of like a uprising against the government, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true too, especially the way that China's been run the past 30 years or however long it's been the way it is. But they got to keep an eye on that stuff. In America, they're a lot more laid back. We actually have free speech here, so they don't have to watch our every move.
To an extent.
I mean, yeah, you can get censored in multiple ways nowadays, especially like the way Andrew Tate did. Even Uber banned Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate doesn't even use Uber, but they were one of the companies that sent him an email talking about how he's not allowed to use their service anymore. And he made a response to that, and he was like, even if I wanted to use your garbage service, all I would have to do was make a new account. Like, it's not even that difficult.
For real, dude. All you gotta do is just need a new phone number, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you need a phone number anymore. You can just use a little text me app thing or a fucking
prepaid debit card, man. Like, it doesn't take that much. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if I was Andrew fucking Tate, I'd hop in one of my goddamn Bugattis and drive past the Uber headquarters and throw a fucking bunch of semen at him like a primate.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just, there's multiple ways a person can get canceled nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really care, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. Everybody can just cut you off, kind of like they did with Kanye, but Kanye apparently had reasons for that.
dude. I honestly thought that Kanye was just doing that shit for like political views, or not for
I
political views,
told you
but
what
like
he
just
I
for
told you
like
about the
views.
video he made, right?
Which one?
So after all these allegations and whatnot, well, allegations, he said what he said, you know. Um,
Mhm.
After he said what he said and tweeted out what he tweeted and everything like that, somebody recorded him a conversation he was having. He was like, "You've never," he said, "This is I'm making history right now." He said, "You've never seen anyone cut as many brand deals as I have with one single tweet." He said, "I got of all these contracts without spending a dime."
Oh my god!
That's the real reason he did all that.
Really?
So he could get out of all the contracts that he was stuck in. And from doing that, he actually, what he wants is, he's still saying that he's trying to run for president in 2024. Don't know if that's going to happen. Don't really care. Probably not going to vote for him if he does run. But what he wants ultimately is for the FCC to look at his money, because Adidas is holding $75 million from Kanye right now when they cut his
Really?
deal. Yeah. He said it was to the point to where he couldn't even use his Apple Pay on his phone.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Because they held $75
$75
million.
million.
Yeah.
He ain't got no more money. What the fuck, man?
I mean,
Kanye broke.
he probably got some money, but like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean?
Dude, and the fact that these companies can actually do that shit is
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Gotta read the fine print in them contracts, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
That's why you know, I good old worked for Pizza Hut for a little bit. Hey, I didn't sign nothing.
I didn't sign anything either. I don't think.
Exactly. We didn't sign no contracts or nothing. We can say what we want to about them hoes.
Man, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do. Fuck Pizza Hut, man. I'll slide my balls across their fucking sauce. Dude, Pizza Hut is. I'm talking about slandering, bro. I slander the fuck out of Pizza Hut.
Dude, I would too. You know, especially around here, Domino's and Papa John's, literally everybody else is crushing Pizza Hut so bad right now. And don't get me wrong,
Little Caesars is crushing Pizza Hut.
Yeah, facts. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I made a good bit of money working at Pizza Hut, but at the same time, like, you could have went to Domino's and made double, you know?
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
the thing with those types of, you know, delivery oriented places is that now what they're doing is hiring like drivers on drivers on drivers on drivers. They had 6 people. I went into a Domino's for an interview. They had 6 drivers on the schedule working that night. And I was like, dude, there's no way you can make money that way. Like, I can run. Basically, I mean, even on a Friday night, one time I was working by myself as the only driver, and I was running, like, you know, not staying in the store, work 10 minutes, taking 3 pizzas at a time, running every single time, and still was on time for every delivery. Didn't skip a beat. You know?
See, they
made hella money that
night.
night.
There was always like 3 or 4 drivers when I worked. And even if there wasn't, it was like 2 people. Like me and you usually. Like, so delivering wasn't that bad. Like,
at least at Pizza Hut, but
it's just, I mean, you get paid to drive around pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a terrible job.
No,
but when they start asking too much, like, it becomes a problem. I don't work for free. I'm not going to.
What pisses me off the most, and this doesn't necessarily pertain directly towards Pizza Hut or Domino's or any of these places that we mentioned, but it's literally all of them in general. Okay, they don't pay you enough for you to actually live. If you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
You can work at McDonald's making, you know, $13, $14 an hour, but they're gonna put you on they're gonna shorten your hours so you don't get paid that much each check. That ends up being maybe $1,200, $1,500 a month. That's not enough. If you're trying to rent an apartment, pay bills, utilities, stuff like that, that's not enough to live. You're
Yeah,
left over with like $40 by the time you pay all of your bills. Rent around here at a decent apartment, even the ghetto ones, is like $800.
yeah,
That's over
dude.
half your check.
I talked to somebody that I met playing Daisy. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say where he lives, but it's a northern part of the country. All right,
All right.
very liberal.
Okay.
He's very liberal, and which is kind of confusing because he's in the military. But he is just completely just. I mean, he's a fucking degenerate, bro. He lives in government housing.
Yeah. Like on a
So
base
that he
somewhere.
no. He was dishonorable discharge.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
Yeah. So okay,
Okay.
I'll dive into it a little bit. He might. I've mentioned it in the Discord about the podcast, but I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. All right. He is living in government housing because he got discharged from the military
Yeah.
after doing some crazy shit and went to prison for 9 years.
Jesus. Okay.
So, and he pled guilty. I even looked up his fucking case. But he pled guilty to all of it, dishonorable discharge, military prison, and he's now living in government housing. He makes probably $89,000 a year. I think is what he said. It's pretty decent money,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have to pay any rent. He doesn't pay for his groceries. He gets like
Bro.
$500. He gets $500 a month, in just food stamps.
Dude.
He's got fucking 4 or 5 vehicles that are just, I mean, clapped out. He's got like an old Mustang that he's just souped up and fucking. But dude, like he doesn't pay anything. He works for his fucking like just extra shit, dude. I watched him drop $400 on a mod pack for cars for Daisy.
Oh my God.
But meanwhile, there's some people that are working, 50, 60 hours a week and can't afford to, keep groceries in the fridge
Yeah.
or pay the rent. Like
Exactly. That's
I,
like
I,
one of my brother's friends, the one that lives in South Carolina.
mhm.
He worked at the well, Trevor doesn't work there anymore, but they worked in the same place, and he's living, the guy that I'm talking about, he was living in an apartment by himself. Every once in a while his kid would come over because he has like joint custody or whatever,
Yeah.
But it was to the point to where he's like behind on his rent, because he's not just,
Yeah.
in general, not getting paid enough to be, in a manufacturing job, working in a factory. And
Dude,
that's,
they pay pretty decent.
I
mean,
know they pay pretty good, but it's to the point
Still
now
not
where
enough.
even around here, like, we don't live in the most like richest area in the world in the United States. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
our apartments and stuff around here are actually, pretty decent price for what they are compared to anywhere else in the country,
Yeah.
especially New York. There's
Definitely.
places in New York that are $4,000 a month for rent. Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
That's more than I make in 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. And even places around here like Greenville, okay, some of the apartments in downtown are around that price point, over $1,000 a month for rent. And that's just
Really?
insane.
It is, man, because if you think about it, dude, like,
That's a house payment.
yeah.
You could buy a house for that.
Hey, what I've really looked into was buying a like a shed, bro.
Yeah, I've looked into that too, buying one of those sheds, insulating
Yeah.
it, building out the interior, and that's really all you need.
Say what? I'd probably say at least $8,000.
Yeah, you be in an all in $8,000. I mean, you can get a decent little
And that,
building
you
for
can get a
about
lot for
$5.
that. Mhm.
Like, I mean, we have
Insulated.
2 here on our property that I could build out in that kind of similar way. Not being it that much, that's all you need to live. Build a little kitchen, just put a
Yeah.
bed in it somewhere, toilet, shower. That's all you really need.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have enough room for your fucking bed, your setup,
Yeah, I mean,
like your shower, your living.
even the
stuff,
little
like,
the little building that we have that's got the garage door on it, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Even that one, it's plenty of room for all of that. Even
Dude, that's
to have a
more than enough
closet
room.
in there and everything like that too.
Yeah, no. So I mean, personally, you could. It wouldn't be something I would want to live in full time for the rest of my life. But like
No,
just to start out, dude,
it's enough to get you by
early
for 5
20s.
years.
Yeah, bro. Early 20s, you buy you a nice little piece of property, or if
Yeah,
you know somebody, like if you're like you got
dude.
family.
Man, I'll tell you this. I kind of messed up. I had an opportunity to buy some property on our road here, like a
Really?
couple of houses down. Yeah, I had an opportunity to buy some property, and I should have because it already had the septic tank, already had the power run to it. It had a trailer on it, but it was kind of like old Larry's trailer, all ratted
Oh yeah.
out and gutted and piece of junk. Really, it
hmm
wasn't worth fixing at that point.
Yeah.
My mama was telling me, "Hey, you can haul this trailer out of here, put up a little, little trailer on it, and pay on it every month." She said, don't even have to put anything on it for the first couple of years. Just pay on it, have the property,
Oh yeah.
and then put a house on it or whatever. I messed up. I probably could have got a good deal on it too.
Well, whenever old Larry kicks the bucket, I'm taking his land.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna haul everything off. I don't
put a
want none of
trailer
that
up there or
shit, dude.
something.
I'm not gonna put it. I'm just gonna. I'm thinking I'm just gonna put a privacy fence up on the
Yeah,
side of the road, like on that side looking up towards the neighbor's house, because I
yeah.
don't like them. And then, I mean, I'm just gonna fucking bulldoze it and flatten it out, because you know how the runoff and all that
Oh
is, and
yeah,
build a little runoff protection wall to keep the water from washing out the property
yeah.
any more than it has, and then I'll put like a little shed up there, if not, if anything, and turn it into a house.
That's right.
Like I said, I mean, it wouldn't be too expensive,
Yeah.
but something like in like a year, dude, I could fully have a fucking house up there, the little trailer, not trailer, but a shed up there,
Oh
turn into
yeah,
a house. It's
man.
already got a septic up there and electrical and all that.
That's the spot that's on top of the shop that we have. That little apartment.
hmm
It's actually more square footage than the house that we live in down here, the double wide. It's
Oh,
it's
really?
yeah, it's more square footage than that, and it'd take probably. It depends on how you would want to build it out, but it would be about $20,000 to $30,000 probably to build out the interior of it,
Yeah.
fully furnished. Putting up the walls, everything like that. It has to have the
Yeah.
receptacles run, the AC lines done, everything like that.
hmm
And that's not bad. It's already the frame
It's
is
really
already
not.
there. It's just
Yeah, you've already paid all the lumber. That's the
yeah.
most expensive
The
shit.
whole thing's pretty much paid for. I mean, well, it is paid for as it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, shit, we got off topic. What was we even talking about?
I don't even know, man. That's how it be sometimes.
It does, man. We ain't been on here for a
We
minute.
started
We just
with
get
Brittney
rambling.
Griner, but we started talking about Kanye, and then we was talking about military, bro. We've been going on for a little bit, but
Oh yeah.
what was next? What was your next idea?
Oh shit. Hell, I didn't even think about that, man. Dang old Brittney Griner, man. That bitch pissed me off, man. Oh, okay. Well, back to Brittney Griner. Okay, with so the WNBA does not allow recreational or medical
Oh yeah,
use
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
marijuana,
You were telling me about that. Yeah.
but she vows to come back to WNBA for the upcoming season.
For what
How
reason? Is she even good at basketball?
she's pretty decent for a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, she's in her 30s. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't think she should be allowed, dude. I mean,
Especially, I don't know. As liberal as the sport is nowadays, they're probably gonna let her come back. But like, you're right. They, in all honesty, should not allow her to come back to the sport because of what she was caught doing, what she was traded for, the person she was traded for to
yep.
get back into the country. I don't think she should be allowed back in.
There needs to be some kind of consequences for her actions, and the
Facts.
use of the what we had to do to get her back was absolutely uncalled for. There is no reason we should have ever treated a well-known Russian arms dealer.
Yeah.
I mean, convicted arms dealer. He was arrested in the states for conspiracy to kill U.S. citizens, to kill Americans.
Yeah.
Fucking terrorist activities. He armed fucking people in Africa for wars. Like
Yeah.
he is a terrible fucking person, and we traded him for a nobody, a
Exactly.
fucking nobody. So there needs to be some kind of consequences for the fucking actions that we had to do to bring this fucking bitch back. After
Exactly.
she does not have any kind of fucking will to be in the U.S., be an American. She's the terrible fucking representation of our society. So I think that she needs to be either in prison over here, or she needs to be like stripped of all her fucking rights. She can't vote. I would say that I would go as far as to say
Slap a
that she
felony
needs to be
charge on her.
slapped a fucking felony charge on
Yeah.
her. Put her through the system, make her go to prison, and she is no longer to be in the NBA, WNBA.
Facts.
It's a fucking disgrace.
It really is. Like there's no sort of reason that she should be able to come back and live a free life when she did something illegal in another country and ended up having to be traded for a warlord. Not just like some random Russian dude that was part of the Bratva that was just like, yeah, he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we're talking Russian warlord. All right?
Yep.
Not just some 2-bit dude from the Bratva, you know what I'm saying? Like, not the machine.
Dude, when Trump was in office, people was fucking. Okay, so you know who Paul Whelan is?
Not necessarily. Not off the top
He
of my
was.
head.
He's in Russia. He's in a prison over there in Russia too.
Okay.
Look up the date again. Forgot what it was. He was arrested. He was detained in Moscow in December 2018.
Okay.
All right, he's been accused of like espionage and like just a bunch of bullshit charges.
Yeah.
But pretty much, I mean, he was a U.S. Marine. He received a 16-year sentence in 2020 in Russia, and was accused of spying. But he was pretty much, he was a pawn, dude. They're using him to get Victor Boot back. That's what they did. They think now every foreign dictatorship country thinks that now they can take a citizen from America and fucking get them traded for somebody that they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was probably the plan that they wanted with the Marine guy that you were just talking about, was to
Paul
get
Whelan,
Victor Boot to begin with.
Well, see, I don't remember who sent the offer, but he was in an offer for Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan.
Yeah.
To bring him back home, because he has been waiting and just patiently waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah, for something to happen.
And nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, this man is an actual law-abiding citizen and a fucking
somebody who served,
somebody who fought for our fucking country.
Exactly.
Somebody who wants to be an upstanding fucking American. But nope, we can't do nothing for him because he's a fucking he's a straight white man in a Russian prison.
Yeah.
And you know what his charge was?
No.
He had an ounce of what he was really arrested for was a fucking ounce of marijuana that he had medically prescribed to him. Which again, that's fucking. I don't know what he was thinking or whatever. I don't know the exact laws on marijuana, but in Russia, but like
he's a military man. He probably knew the risk, and who knows? Maybe Brittney knew the risk too. But at the same time, like.
But 16 years for prison sentence for a little bit of weed in Russia, which it's whatever. That's the law.
Yeah.
But I think that they accused him of spying and espionage, which is fucking bullshit. That was some bullshit that they did. But you got to be able to use your reasoning, like Victor Boot. Okay, well known that he's killed tons and tons of people.
Oh yeah,
has been the reason that tons of people dying for Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan, that's a good fucking trade. That is
Yeah,
the only
at
trade
that-
that would fucking seem reasonable.
that would make sense for both of them. But no,
Yeah.
we just gotta go and get this female basketball player that makes no sense
Yeah.
to me.
No, so Russia. Okay, fuck, I don't even know what we were talking about.
And
I forgot why I brought Paul Whelan up.
I don't know either. But to extend on that, like now that Russia's done this, all right, they've made this deal and they've made this trade. Every other country in the world's now gonna think, any random American we can just take and they'll trade back for, not just people that are in the military that have served the country or whatnot. No, we don't want to take those because they clearly don't care about those guys. They just leave them to rot in Russian prison. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's fucking stupid. I think. Oh, okay. So Trump, I remember why I brought him up. Okay, so they were trying to say that Trump didn't do anything for him. Trump didn't, because everybody was making a big thing about Paul Whelan still being in Russian prison.
Yeah.
They was like, oh well, Trump didn't do anything. Trump didn't do anything. He wasn't in office when Trump was. Trump wasn't in office when he was arrested. He had nothing he could do. There's absolutely nothing that he could do for Paul Whelan.
Exactly.
And people are fucking like, oh well, this and this and this. Biden administration, did this so that we can have America back, and blah blah blah.
I don't think Biden administration's done anything to improve the United States in any way, shape, or form.
Have you seen where it's fuck, dude? I was watching Ben Shapiro talk about it, about the fucking trannies, that the men that think they're fucking women have been going to that Biden has invited them to the U.S. The White House for fucking like interviews and shit.
Oh my god, what's the point? Like seriously, why,
dude? One of the things that fucking Joe Biden invited was some transgender thing that fucking, I don't know, they blew up on some kind of YouTube or TikTok or something.
That's
talking about how they like dick and how they wanted a fucking different dude every week and this and this and this, and
they get to go to the White House.
Like, yeah. And then Biden gets on there and then is like, yes, you're a woman and you embody the like some kind of like woman's empowerment or some shit. He was like, you are a real woman and this and this. And I'm like, fucking, of course Joe Biden's going to say that.
That's a fact.
He thinks he's a real fucking airplane. Like, it's so fucking disgusting.
My man thinks they call him the Phoenix because he can fly. He thinks because his call sign on the Secret Service is a bird that he can fly, baby.
There was an actual video of Joe Biden. He was interviewing somebody. I forgot who it was, but the guy who he was interviewing with, he was like, "Yeah, what does that button do?" And he was like, "It brings me an ice cream." He's got a fucking button that he can press to have some bitch bring him an ice cream, dude.
Bro, I need that.
Of course, fucking Joe Biden would have that, dude.
If and when I ever get married, that's what I'm gonna have them little like bells, and one of them's gonna be "Bring me an ice cream, bitch."
Straight up,
ding ding, bring me an ice cream. Yeah, it's facts. I need a button for that. Oh,
dude, of course, man. The fucking our leader of our fucking nation has a button in his office so we can get him a fucking ice cream. Good job, man. That's where our tax dollars go to pay some poor cuck to bring this man a goddamn ice cream every chance he rings that goddamn button.
Oh god,
that's a fucking sad thing, man.
Oh, speaking of tax dollars, man, I don't know what they're doing with it.
Dude,
like, honestly,
they ain't fixing the goddamn roads. I know that much.
Dude, I was about to say that. Like, I went up to North Carolina the other day, went up I-85 to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. It's rough. And I mean, they're doing road work, but not in the right places. They're like putting up bridges and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I can feel every bump in the road. Like, there's parts of the road that I feel like haven't been touched in 50 years by any sort of road crew. Since the interstate was built, there's like parts that I feel like haven't even been touched since then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of tax money and stuff like that, all the money that the government gets, I feel like it's all going to the wrong place. A lot of times, I feel like most of the money is going towards all the free healthcare stuff, all of the like the food stamps, the housing, and all of the stuff for the people that claim they have no money. And like you were saying, a good bit of them are just playing the system, like that military guy you were talking about that was dishonorably discharged and makes $80,000 a year, doesn't pay rent, doesn't pay for groceries, but spends $400 on a freaking car model pack for DayZ.
Oh yeah.
I feel like a good bit of people are like that.
Servers. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like people are like that. They just have the money to throw away. And it's really sad because that type of thing was happening during 2020, during the good old COVID apocalypse, which, like we both know, around here it wasn't really that big of a deal. But, you know,
It wasn't.
the state still had to abide by the federal regulations and whatnot that was being pushed. And through that caused people to be getting in money. People weren't paying their rent. People that owned apartments were getting shafted out of, you know, thousands of dollars that they need in order to pay the bills that house these people in these places that they aren't paying for.
Yep.
Like the one guy, when I used to work at the phone store, he came in and he owns a couple of apartment complexes around here. And he was telling us how, you know, during COVID, he would go stop by, check out the places, you know, mandatory, just maintenance stops and whatnot, just checking on those properties.
Make sure they ain't burned down.
Yeah, pretty much. And he said, you know, there was a good bit of people that weren't even paying their rent during this time, but he would see them walking in and out of their apartments from going shopping with Gucci bags and stuff like that, fresh from the shops and stuff like that. You know, no telling how much money they were spending, but they weren't paying their rent. He knew that much. So it's just things like that.
People can abuse the system and not get any kind of backlash for it.
Where's my STEMI check? I never got one. Come on, dude.
I still haven't gotten one.
Never got a STEMI check.
You know how many fucking plugs got hooked up? The fucking dude, I mean like tons and tons of plugs that I know personally that got fucking just bank. I mean, they got a bank.
That's facts.
Like, dude, okay, so
a lot of people didn't even have to quit working, and I guarantee, like, a lot of people that didn't, you know, have to quit working still got STEMI checks and were able to spend that money.
Oh yeah.
You know, dude, where do you think they spent it?
my papa's son, he couldn't afford to go back to work.
Yeah.
He got laid off because of COVID, and
they were paying him. They were paying him more from the government than he was to actually go get a job.
The money that he made from being on unemployment, he couldn't have made that at a place that he could go work.
That's kind of why I wish I would have waited and just like, maybe I could get on unemployment. You know,
I thought about it
because I never told them that I quit. So maybe I can get on a little bit of that juice. It wouldn't be that much. I think if I applied for it, they would only give me like the hourly rate of what I was being paid at the past. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, it's money at the end of the day.
I got fired, so I don't know. Well, actually, I quit. Technically.
Well, both. Technically. I don't know. But that's, you know.
See, dude, John had called me the next day and was like, I don't think you should come back in tonight. Or I don't think you should come back in or whatever. And I was like, it's because I was mad. I was like, all right, that's fine. I wasn't going to come back anyways. I told him, like, dude, I don't understand why I'm getting fired. Because, you know, I called him that day whenever all that shit was happening.
Yeah, I remember.
And was like, dude, we just need to close the fucking store. Like, you know, everybody in here is fucking sick.
Yeah, it was literally like me, you, and what's her name that was like trying to make fun of you for wearing a mask were the only ones that weren't sick.
Oh, fucking bro, still wish I would have smacked that bitch like I told her I was going to.
Yeah, dude, she
Did she
deserves
get?
it.
Yeah, I remember when I come in there, and I had talked to, and she had been out of work or tried to get out of work because she was fucking. She had double pink eye, and
Yeah,
she had some kind of stomach bug that her son had, and so she was contagious, and she
yeah,
told me that she was contagious, and she told John, and she told everybody, and like
yeah.
fucking what was that one kid's name who was autistic? I forgot what his name was. But yeah, he was fucking sick.
I know.
I
Like I
do no
said, it
gloves,
was
nothing.
literally just me and you, and then that was cooking that weren't sick in the entire store.
Yeah. So I was wearing a mask because I'm not gonna bring that shit home to my mom. Dude, my mom's not in good health, and she almost died over fucking COVID. Like,
Yeah,
so I'm not bringing that shit like back to the house. I don't care what the fuck it is. I'm wearing a mask, and this bitch kept coming at me and was like, I don't even remember what all she said, but she kept fucking coming after me. Like out of nowhere, we'd be across the fucking store, and she'd holler at me and tell me some stupid shit, and like
yeah.
I finally told her the fuck up. I was like, listen, if you don't leave me the fuck alone, I'm gonna take the back of my hand and hit you in the fucking jaw. And
Facts.
then she's like, I don't understand why you were so mad. And I'm like, I didn't told you to leave me the fuck alone, bitch. I ain't playing with you. Like I didn't told you. Now I ain't asking. I'm telling you, leave me the fuck alone. And then all that shit in the Snapchat, which I kind of acted on.
Well, it was they well deserved it. I don't understand this.
Yeah,
I
what
don't
was
know.
crazy was the shit that they talked about me like bringing in a gun and shooting
I
everybody.
know.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. They tried to see if that was real and that was legitimate, they would have called the cops.
That's facts.
Because that's an easy throw me in jail bullshit, and I know
Yeah,
that. Because why would I fucking say some shit like that? Like, I mean, granted, I say some pretty harsh shit when I'm mad,
yeah, but
but I don't
that
need a gun.
exactly.
Like, I
You don't
remember
need a gun to hurt somebody's feelings.
straight up, bro. I was hurting all their feelings in the fucking Snapchat, man.
I know.
What was that one chick's name? It was, and then the other one, bro. I hated that bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was fine as fuck. She had a nice fat ass, but she had a nasty ass attitude, bro.
That's a fact.
Yeah, nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I snitched on all them motherfuckers, bro. I called everybody out. Just because John wanted to fucking say some stupid shit about me, like, because I called, what was his name?
Andrew.
No, not Andrew, the little homosexual boy. I forgot what his
Oh,
name
you're
was.
talking about no, I was gonna say
He
Nick.
had the really squeaky voice, dude.
I was gonna say Nick, but I know that's not his name.
No, it was fuck. I don't know. It wasn't Braden.
Dude.
Yeah, Braden tried to hop on that shit too. I tried to hop on there and yap at me.
Braden. Oh, that was the
Little
17-year
scrawny
old.
little white boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I told him, I'm like, bro, you're underage.
that was his name.
No, it was the manager, bro.
Oh, who are you talking about?
He had a really squeaky voice, bro. He had long hair. That's what his name was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I called him a fucking faggot. That's all it was. And
Oh.
John was like, yeah, you can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I called that one girl a cunt, too. I forgot what her name was. She was a cunt, dude. Everybody knew that.
um, is that girl
She
that I
always ran
took
the
home?
register.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So I called him a cunt. After they was all talking shit to me. Listen, that all the shit that I said was in retaliation. I never started any of it, but I stood up for myself. I said that, like, I remember fucking coming into the store and like just being degraded by all these fucking people, like talked down to and cussed at and shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not a sensitive person, so I never took it to heart. But you can't say no shit to me because I say something back to somebody who's actually trying to make a deal out of something that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody in the fucking store turned against me for they weren't even there. They never knew what happened.
Exactly.
All I had to say was, "Oh, he threatened me." And I'm like, "Yeah, you goddamn bitch, I did threaten you, you fucking cunt. If you didn't run off, I would have smacked you."
Oh, bro.
Like, I mean, what? Listen, I'm a fucking adult, all right. If I tell you to leave me the fuck alone after you keep harassing me nonstop, I'm gonna make you stop harassing me. Like
Exactly.
I can deal with myself. I can deal with my problems on my own. I don't need somebody else to do it. And if I tell you to leave me the fuck alone, bitch, that means leave me alone.
That's facts.
I mean, I don't want to have to smack this bitch, but if I tell you and you don't listen, god damn it,
That's
what do
it.
you want me to do?
It's like what I told Kim, like, well, people like Willow are literally like, what's wrong with the country in general?
Dude, they're
Because
victims.
exactly, it's never their fault. They're always the victim in the situation. Doesn't matter what the situation was, how it happened, when it happened, or whatever. It doesn't. The facts don't matter. The facts go out the window as soon as they think that their opinion is the only one that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's just the way that the country's going at that point. You know, that's like, you know, the big LGBTQ communities out there, the ones that have the big social following. You know, when they have their opinion, it's the only one that matters. Nobody else's opinion matters.
Dude, I remember I was so fucking petty when I got fired.
Dude, I don't blame you at all.
Bro, I
Just
remember
because the way that all of them collectively treated the entire situation, especially
bro, that was bullshit.
especially the people in the group chat, because they weren't there. They have no clue what happened, what went on. They didn't know at the time that walked out of the store in the middle of a rush hour with a pizza on the make line halfway made. She walked out of the store. What did you do?
Dude.
You stayed. You stayed for what, 2 or 3 more hours and helped us finish up the prep. And
I stayed after I fucking quit.
Yeah, exactly. You were still in the store on the clock helping us out because nobody else was there.
Yeah, I remember that shit so fucking vividly.
It just makes zero sense that they acted the way that they did collectively against you. Because
dude, what made me mad was John. John was the biggest piece of shit, the most incompetent motherfucker I have ever met. Like, because see, Kim was calling him nonstop, and he wouldn't answer.
Yeah, he doesn't answer the phone. That's another thing. Like, dude, you're a general manager of a corporate. Well, it's corporate named. It's not necessarily corporate owned. I think.
Yeah.
I think like
not that one.
Somebody under the corporate name owns the company or whatever, or owns the store, right? But either way, you're still under somebody else, and you're supposed to be the one managing the store, running the store, basically.
Yep.
Like, if your managers are calling you, answer the phone, dude. I get it. It's one thing if like one of us were to call him in the middle of, you know, whatever time, just to call him and complain about something. But if one of your managers is calling you and you know that they're the manager that's scheduled to be there that day, you know that they're at the store, answer the phone, dude. I was telling them that I had put some days on the little sheet in there to be off because I needed about a week off to go to Washington.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I told them that I needed another weekend off a couple of weeks after that to go. I think we were going to go to Charlotte for Cletus McFarland's race. We ended up not going to Charlotte and in turn going to the Street Outlaws race for my dad's birthday. Originally, I was going to take him to the Cletus race, but ended up was going to be like a $500 trip, and I wasn't trying to spend that much money at the time.
Yeah.
So we just bought tickets to go and see the Street Outlaws race because he likes the drag racing more anyways. So I was telling them, you know, I need that time off, and I told her, I was like, you know, either way it comes, either way the cookie crumbles, whether or not I get approved for that time, I'm taking the time off. I don't care. Y'all, you know, John can fire me over it or whatever. I'm taking the time off because, one, I'm getting paid $1,000 to drive up to Washington State, see things that I've never seen before, and then come back. It's, you know, something that I'm probably never going to be able to do again.
Yeah.
Making more money than I would have made in a week working there anyways. I told him, I was like, regardless, I'm taking this trip. And I was like, the next time, and like 2 weeks after that, I'm going to take my dad out for his birthday. It's like his 55th or his 56th birthday. I'm going to take him out, have a good time. So I told him that. And apparently, I didn't get the entire week for the Washington trip. And that's
oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I actually never showed back up for work. when I got back. I got back from Washington. I blocked all of them. I didn't show up for work because they just that pissed me off. I told them like about a month in advance that I was going to be doing those 2 trips, and I get it. They might have certain company policies. Can't you get a week of vacation after a year of being there or whatnot. I can understand that, but at the same time, I'm making more money in a week than I'd ever made in a week at Pizza Hut or really anywhere else. I'd make about $1,000 in 2 weeks working for Mike at the phone store.
Yeah, I think that you have to. You think that I don't think that Pizza Hut was really going to fucking take a big downfall for you being gone for a week or 2 weeks, however fucking long it was. But there's plenty of people that if they were willing to do their job correctly, that they could have sufficed.
Exactly. And before I left to go on that trip to Washington, they had hired a new cashier because they had fired Logan finally. They had actually fired her.
Oh, really?
Yes. They did eventually fire her because she never showed back up, and they just told her not to come back. So they hired this new cashier guy. Well, apparently nobody taught the guy how to do the wing station, which is the cashier's job to do the wings. So I would leave, go on a delivery, come back. The screen, for the wings would be full on both sides. And I walk over there and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you're supposed to be doing this, right? And he was like, no, nobody told me that. And I was like, all right, look, I'm going to show you real quick before I got on this next delivery because there was, it was a busy hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll show you real quick because I don't know if these wings that I need have been made or not. There was wings on that station that had, like, the timer had been going for 35 minutes.
Fuck.
And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? Like, who? Yeah. So I'd check everything, and it turns out 3 of them were actually done, but we're still on the screen. I was like, all right, I'll just bump these off. I told him, I was like, this is how you bump them off. You do this every time you're done making them. Yeah, it's not that hard. I taught you how to do the wing station. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, no, it's not that hard.
And I taught him how to do that. I dropped a couple of wings and showed him how to do everything. And I was like, if any come in, you hear the beep, just take a look at the screen, check everything out. It's not that hard to do. I come back and it's the same deal. Stuff been on there for 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like, dude, seriously? I didn't even say anything to him that time. I just went ahead. I fixed everything, went behind everybody, fixed everything, all the mistakes that everybody's doing. I was like, all right, we're chilling for an hour. Cool.
See, dude.
And that kept happening over a course of a couple of days before I left for the trip. And I was like, they're not going to train the people to do the job that they're hiring them to do. There's no point in even, like, if you got to walk behind them, I should be getting paid as much as, like, I should be getting paid for what he's doing. What he's supposed to be doing.
The only reason I was trained is because it was you, dude.
I know.
Because I knew you, and I knew that I could ask you if I could whatever it was, because you've been doing it for so long. But if it wasn't for you, bro, I wouldn't have been trained to do anything.
I know. They didn't care enough.
Yeah.
And that's probably ultimately going to be their downfall. The last couple of times I've ridden by that Pizza Hut, I actually haven't even seen the same vehicles in the parking lot. I did see Haley's truck, so I think she's still working there. But I don't think Melissa's working there anymore. I don't think Mikey's there anymore. I saw, what's his name? Short, bald, kind of fat dude.
I know you're talking about.
I don't know if you met him, though. His name's David. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, I think he still works there, which he was talking about quitting before I quit. But, I don't think Kim's there. She only works Mondays, and I don't really ride out that way on Mondays. But, a lot of those people that were working there, they're not working there anymore, and that's really going to be the downfall. All the good people that know their value are going to leave that store and move on to better things.
Yeah.
Because they know they're worth more.
I should have known it was going to be a bad idea to work there when I did fucking shots with everybody in there on the first day. Dude, in the lobby, bro, we fucking used the marinara sauce cups to fucking do shots at King Whitney in the fucking lobby, like with the managers, all right?
Hey, it is what it is.
Bro, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't have a few good times. Like, it was always something usually. Like, I could always go in there and laugh.
Yeah, but that was
But
just Seth though, and he ended up.
that was only when, yeah, it was
He
really
was
when
on
only when
his
Seth was
notice.
working.
He was on his notice eventually, and ended up leaving. I think now he works somewhere. He was talking about he was planning on traveling and doing this and that, and
Yeah,
he's still in Easley.
he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. At the end of the day, I think the Pizza Hut's just a shitty place. It's a shitty place to work at, and
It really
it's
is.
like it's just a joke.
It really is. And that just goes into like any place nowadays. Just isn't really a good place to work. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to tell you the facts of the job. Nobody wants to tell you what you're actually going to be getting paid. Okay.
Mhm.
That should be the first thing you get out of the way as soon as you walk in the door. What am I making? This is what you're making. This is how you're going to make this money. You're going to be making this hourly. You're going to be making this per day or whatever the terms may be of how much you're making. That should be the first thing that is gone over when you go to get a job somewhere. They don't want to talk about that. It's like the hidden thing that everybody doesn't want to talk about when you go to get a job. Like, no.
Straight up, dude.
You need to know what you're getting.
You
need to know what kind of money you're going to be making.
A lot of times they tell you that you'll be making this much, all right, and then you're gonna have to do this. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta do this for this much money.
And it turns out you're making $1 or $2 less, and doing double what you were told you were gonna be having to do. It's like, all right,
and
guys.
then every other week you get more responsibility and no more pay.
Exactly. It's a bundle of crap, man. And I really ultimately I feel bad for the managers there because at the end of the day they would make less money than the drivers would for doing more ish of the work, you know?
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like is that Haley, when she was managing, she didn't want to go around and check on stuff and do whatever. Kim, she would, she would sit around and talk for a little bit, but when it came down to it, when stuff needed to be done, she was there doing it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
She'd be back there washing dishes. I mean, you were probably there one night on a Monday when we were closing. She'd be back there washing dishes, doing the prep, make sure everything's done. That's what a manager should do.
Kim was a really good worker, and she did fucking everything in the store that she needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing in the store that you was doing by yourself. Like,
and honestly, what's really sad about her situation is that she's been working for that Pizza Hut store under John since she was 17. She was there when the old store was open.
Oh yeah, over there where the T-Mobile store is.
Yes. She's been there.
Didn't John get that burnt down?
Yeah, John left the fryers on or something, and it caught fire and burnt down.
I don't think John should have been a fucking manager no more after that.
No, probably not. I don't think he should be a GM now because of the way he treats situations like what happened to you. He's like, oh, it's fine, whatever, All the employees are quitting. That's cool.
Dude,
he's acting like Pizza Hut is like this golden gate that people are just gonna walk into every day and ask for a job. Do you know how long we were looking for a cook and a driver after that happened with you and Willow? It was weeks, if not months, before we found another driver. And
the funny thing is, I put another application in.
No, but like we had instances where, like, I don't know, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks after you quit. This girl came in, and she was doing her interview. She went through on the computer, did all of her stuff. It finally came for her first day to come back, do the ride-alongs, and get on the road. She never showed up. She just never showed up. I was like, all right, so, she's not coming back. And then we had some kid that went to the same school we did. He came in, did his training, He actually made it to the point to where he got on the road for a couple of days, and then he just quit showing up too. Like, people they don't want to do the work, and I'm telling you, like, as far as delivering pizzas flat out, I could have probably 9 times out of 10 delivered full time for that store by myself. Just the way I am, the way I drive, and all that good stuff. Hey,
Yeah, dude.
I get it done, make a good bit of money at the same time. I've done it before on Fridays. We have no
Mhm.
drivers. I'm the only one there. Don't worry about it. Don't even
All
have
my
to call.
money.
I
Yeah.
told him, I was like, hey, don't call in the DoorDash drivers. Watch this. I'm back. Give me 3 more.
Yeah, one of the things that really fucking sucked for me when I went to Pizza Hut is I was technically hired on to an electrical company to be an apprentice
Yeah.
and make fucking 17 an hour, fucking, work truck, all my tools covered for, and then like availability to move up in the company and like, I mean, tons of shit. Like the person they got me hired on over there was they had just got done working at a military base, third shift,
Oh, that's cool.
and the flat rate because it was paid by the government. Everybody that worked on that military base made $45 an hour, 50 hours a week,
Sheesh.
and they have jobs like that all the time, like
Yeah.
once or twice a year, and them jobs will last fucking 4 or 5 months.
Sheesh.
Like, I mean, this dude made fucking bank. Like, he spent $20,000 on a sleeve for his arm.
I believe it.
Like, dude, I should have fucking kept going there. But see, the thing with me was I had to go like out of my way. I had just started driving. Like, I was real nervous about going, 45 minutes to a place and 45 minutes back home.
Oh
Like,
yeah. I kind of feel the same way a little bit, in the fact that I shouldn't have gone to Pizza Hut, but at the same time, dude, I made bank. Like I've said before, I paid for the transmission to be rebuilt in my truck within the first month of working there.
oh yeah, you made a lot of fucking money from Pizza Hut.
Blew all of it too.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly to that. I definitely blew every dime I made from Pizza Hut. Every single penny, bro. I blew all of it, and that blew my mind too. Like that I could spend so much money in such a short period of time.
Oh,
That's
dude, you didn't watch me do it and learn a lesson.
oh, bro. Look, you don't even. Oh well, you do know a little bit, but
Oh yeah.
man, when I was working at a phone store, I only made 25,000, a little shy of 25,000 that year.
Mm.
That January, I spent $4,000. The next month, I spent another $3,000.
Yep.
I was blowing some money, boy. I
Yeah,
guarantee
dude.
you, just in this room that I'm sitting in alone, I probably have $15,000 worth of stuff in here, just in and of
Yeah,
itself.
fuck. Just all little knickknacks or fucking like tech bits.
Well, I mean, just the TV setup that I have is probably $1,500 in and of itself.
Oh yeah, you got the. I remember going to get fucking putting that TV in the back of the Ranger.
Yeah, I got the TV. I have the Vizio like sound system and the Xbox Series X. That's that's not
That's money.
even. We ain't even talking about my whole PC setup. I got 4 monitors, 2 computers. Both have RTX graphics cards in them.
Mm.
You know, it's just money. I mean, just sitting on the
Just
desk
money,
right
man.
now, I got 2, all of that plus 2 audio interfaces, $100 Rode Pod mic, Elgato Stream Deck, iPad Mini 5, iPhone 11, iPhone 13. You know,
Just big balling out here, man.
and then I got the Elgato HD 60, and I have a Elgato 4K 60.
Fuck.
It's a good bit of chunk of change, and then on the
Yeah.
little shelf thing that sits next to my desk, I have the original Xbox One. It's not worth much, but it's what
That's
it is.
nostalgic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that old money, man.
They go money, man.
Spend it all.
Money.
Spend it all. That's what I tell my dad. Hey, man, it's just money.
You spend it while you got it.
That's facts. And boy, did I. Sheesh.
Oh man, I know the feeling.
All right. Well, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes there, partner.
Oh man. I was down there just in time. I'm about to go see what's for dinner.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Alrighty, y'all.
Shit.
Well, we appreciate you coming out for this little 2-man
Rambling
episode.
session.
Yeah, good old rambling session. It's always a rambling
Yeah.
session on Guy and
It
talk
always
about
is,
it.
man. We
Yeah.
always stay risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like on one more again. We're gonna do one more again. We're gonna do another one. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, man.
till next week.
We
Hopefully, maybe we're off of our vacation.
I know, man. Maybe we can probably try and push one out for Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, y'all. Happy holidays. Stay
Yes,
safe.
sir.
Don't be smoking no crack.
Yeah. Send all your crack to me. P.O.
Yeah,
box in the description.
I'm confiscating all the crack
Yeah.
at my address.
Yeah.
Put it in the mailbox.
That's right.
All
All
right,
right,
old
y'all.
bomb 330 churches.
Like on Baconator.
Oh, tactical baconator.
And y'all remember, man, tactical Baconator.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Tactical baconator out.
Yep, Baconator out. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.